And with the predicted lineup, we say a massive big up to our sponsors, Betmate, the fantasy gaming app where you can win real money. Not like the bookies, you're not going up against any big companies like that. It's just peer-to-peer gaming, where actually last week we had a pot open for the Burnley game. And if I just add my phone, this was the leaderboard for the game last week. So actually, I'm not sure who you are and if you're watching, but Dark Azure won the pot last week, winning £35. Daniel D coming second.
Daniel D? No way is it our
I
brother?
don't think it's Daniel D. I don't think it's the Daniel D.
The Daniel D.
Yeah. I came third, winning myself £11, and Sim came fifth, winning £4.50. So there you go. That's the leaderboard. So if you want to be in it to win it, guys, the QR code is currently on screen. It will be on screen for the rest of the stream as well. And it's
The pot code, if you want to join for the pot.
the QR code.
It goes straight, because sometimes last week they were saying it only goes to the app.
Okay, so it's WATTV-02 for the Man City pot.
And it's free to join. Completely free to join this pot, right?
Yeah.
This private pot. £100 up for grabs. You're taking on me and Ben in a fancy game, just for the Man City versus Tottenham game. So you got to be in it to win it. It's an absolutely free to join.
Yeah, it makes every tackle, every goal, every substitution matter. You'll be glued to the game in a whole new way. But let's go and have a look at the teams that we've picked, that me and Sim have picked for this game. If you bring the phone template just back on, and we'll go through the teams that we sent you. So let's go and have a look at Sim's first.
So last week, I kind of... you're learning the rules as you go along. So I thought clean sheets were going to be worth more to defenders than they were. So I've adjusted my team, because apparently you get a lot more points for tackles and interceptions than I originally thought. So I've gone Vicario in goal, because I think he's going to make more saves. I actually think, is this my team? Yeah, it's my team. Yeah, Vicario in goal. I've gone Jed Spence in the defence, because he gets involved in quite a lot of duels, and I think in this game he will as well. Nuri, he was one of the ones who got most tackles and assists, I think, for the game against Wolves, so I put him in. Reinders and Kudus in the midfield. I think Kudus could be playing potentially up front again. Gone for him. Reinders, obviously, wonderful debut. Gets involved in duels and could potentially be getting involved in goal contributions as well. And up front, I've gone for Haaland as captain, and Jeremy Doku on the left-hand side for Man City.
Yeah, so it's important to note that captains double your points, and vice-captains, unlike fantasy, you get times 1.5 on your points as well. So vice-captains actually matter in this game as opposed to fantasy. And if you're an avid fantasy player, you will love... you would absolutely love this game. A real chance to earn real money. If we go and have a look at my team, I've gone for Vicario in goal. I think he's going to be pummeled a little bit, and I think his shot stopping is going to be very much needed in this game. The back two, I've gone for Ryan Nuri. I think, first of all, he was brilliant in the first game. He always gets himself involved in the duels. Potential of a clean sheet as well. Pedro Porro, I've gone for next to him. I think he's also going to get himself involved in the duels. But not only that, I think if Spurs are going to score, I think he's a likely avenue for the success that Spurs are going to score from. Not only is he going to be on set pieces, but he's also going to be able to cross the ball in for Richarlison, and also play those balls over the top from deep as well. Because if we're going to catch City off guard, that might be the avenue of our success. In the midfield, I've gone for Mohamed Kudus, because I think Kudus is also going to get involved in a hell of a lot of duels in this game. He's going to be dropping deep. I think it's going to be a 3-5-2 with Kudus up top. And with him being up top, he might be one of the beneficiaries from those Pedro Porro over-the-top balls. And with him being a midfield player, his goals might be worth a bit more than an attacker. So I've gone for Kudus. I've gone for Tijani Reinders in the midfield alongside him. He's my vice-captain. I've gone for Richarlison up top. Alongside my captain, which is Erling Haaland. So I've gone for, pretty much a half. I've actually got more Spurs players than Man City players. So
Belief.
Yeah, that's my team. Saw Sim's team. Get involved, people. Take us on in the Betmate pot this weekend. Spurs against Man City. We'll have more over the course of the season. And like I said, there's real money to be made. Some of you guys got involved last weekend, and quite a few of you walked away with some money. So get involved, guys. Absolutely free to play. And that is from our sponsors today, which are Betmate. The QR code on screen. QR code is going to be on screen for the rest of the stream. And if you're not following the QR code, you join the pot and put in the code WATTV-02. So that is Betmate, people. But it is time to get in to our predicted lineup. Spurs face Man City. Spurs have a good record against Man City as well. 4-0 last time at the Etihad. I anticipate it's not going to be quite 4-0 this time. Man City looked on fire.
Don't rule it out.
In the first game. But in terms of the team news going into the game, what have we got for the game?
Yeah, so we know Maddison's long-term injury, Kulusevski's a long-term injury, they're out. Dragoshin, he's going to not be involved in this one. He says Basuma's out, whether you believe it or not. He's not going to be involved or available for this game. And he says Destiny Udogie is back in training, and he actually trained twice this week. But he said he wants him to have one more week training before he gets him involved. So he's not going to be involved this weekend. I don't know whether that means he's not going to be involved at all on the bench, but he says he's not ready for the game. So I'm guessing that means he's not involved.
For me, that he's not going to be involved at all. So, yeah, unfortunate on the injuries. Particularly, I mean, we could really do with Dejan Kulusevski going into this game and the deck he had. But yeah, if you just bring that graphic on, that is the team news visualized for you with Dragoshin, Kulusevski, Maddison, and Udogie and Bissouma. Is Bissouma actually injured?
I don't believe it. I think they're trying to engineer a move for him, and I don't know. Yeah, I just think it's too convenient. He got disciplined. We know he's looking to leave. It's just too convenient that he's saying he's injured. There seems to be an epidemic at the moment of all these players who are under transfer scrutiny being injured throughout the Premier League.
It's not a new thing though, is it?
I know, but it seems to be so many at the moment. There's he's injured, this one's injured. Eze wasn't feeling well yesterday, apparently. So I think Bissouma's got transferitis.
Yeah, Eze looked completely fine after the game yesterday, didn't he?
Exactly.
But look, let's get into the lineup. I think it's going to be a 3-5 or a 5-3-2, 3-5-2, whichever way you want to spin it.
Same formation as PSG.
Yeah, exactly. And I do think that's the best avenue for us to go into this game with, judging by the way Man City looked on the first game of the season. In goal will obviously be Vicario, and his shot-stopping abilities is definitely going to be called into action in this one.
Yeah, and last time he was at the Etihad, it was a crazy game for him because he probably had his best game ever in a Tottenham shirt, and then he came out of it with a broken ankle and missed 3 months. So it was an extremely bittersweet day for Vicario. So I think hopefully returning to this game, returning to that stadium, it can invoke a similar performance that he had last year. He was brilliant last time.
Yeah. So Vicario in goal. Right wing back is definitely going to be Pedro Porro. We spoke about just before about how vital he can be for us in this game. You know, getting up and down the pitch with his crossing ability, best in the squad. Not only that, with his ball playing ability from deep, trying to catch out that Man City high line. But also, I feel like his defensive capabilities have been getting better as well.
Yeah, I think so as well. You know, PSG, I thought was excellent defensively. Against Burnley, that wasn't needed too much. But I think throughout pre-season, he's and I think in general, even at the back end of last season under Ange, he was getting a lot better defensively. So I think in general, he's been. I think people still tarnish him with a lot of the brush of when he first came here when it comes to defensively. I think ever since Ange's first year, even I think defensively he's been a lot better. But I think we've seen even more improvement over the last few months. So yeah, I think he's doing well.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you in terms of being unfairly tarnished. A bit similar to like Romero. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, Romero's always going to give away a penalty, always going to give away a red card. I mean, when's the last time he's given away a penalty or a red card? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he should have been sent off in that friendly.
He should have.
Apart from that, yeah.
But, I'm saying in general, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
I agree. And I think he's only had one red card
from Milan.
Oh no, 2 because he got sent off against Chelsea as well. But yeah, 2 in this. You got to remember, he's been here for a while now.
Yeah.
This is his 5th year?
Yeah.
And he's had 2 red cards. Everyone thinks he's a walking, talking red card like he's Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
But he's had 2 red cards in 5 years. Not like exactly crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So look, Pedro Porro right back, Cuti Romero, captain. is obviously going to be in there as well. Is he going to be right or centre?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was Romero centre, if I remember right, and then it was Danso on the right. I think it was like Danso right, Romero centre, like that, and then Mickey on the left.
Yeah. So that's going to be the back three, and I think that's an awesome back three, man.
Get the long throws in.
Get the long throws in. Get aggressive up against Haaland. Give him no space, and yeah, I mean it's going to be up to Cuti Romero, isn't it? I mean, Cuti Romero, I think, is going to be on Haaland like a bloody don't know what, like, but something. He's just going to be all over him.
Absolutely, and yeah, for sure, he's going to be super aggressive up against Haaland. Those three, you probably got Danso in there making sure Haaland's not getting any headers. You got Romero in there making sure Haaland's not getting it into feet. You're just going to be cutting off the supply, and then you got Van de Ven making sure Haaland's not running in behind. So you've got pretty much all three, hopefully, of his big abilities covered there. But obviously, football is not always that simple. But in theory, I can understand the logic of locking down Haaland with those three.
Yeah, obviously it's not just Haaland you need to watch out for.
Oh, absolutely not.
Plenty other players that Man City have can hurt you, and Tijani Reinders, definitely one of them, was deployed in a more offensive role in the first game, which I expect he'll be the same. But I mean, he was doing everything. He was dropping deep, doing the defensive work, picking up the ball carrying, a goal threat as well. I mean, the guy just looks sensational.
Yeah, he
really does. But that's the back three. Right backs, obviously, we said Porro. Left back is going to be Jed Spence, and he's going to need to be on his A game if he's going to. Who's going to be on that side for Man City, do you reckon?
Oscar Bob, I would say. He was brilliant on the first game, so I think he probably retains his place. If they're going to go for a similar team, that is.
I know Oscar Bob's a very good player. But I think Jed Spence is going to fancy his chances up against Oscar Bob. To be honest, I think Jed fancies his chances up against anyone, to be honest. I don't know if you saw the social media post from Jed on the weekend. He's like, 0 out of 10. I'll buy you dinner if you can complete a take-on against me. And he's obviously targeted at Mohamed Kudus. And I'm quite disappointed at Kudus, actually, not being able to do one take-on against Jed Spence.
Yes, Kudus must be absolutely seething at that. But, yeah, he's a brilliant one-on-one defender. And I think Oscar Bob is a top talent. But Jed Spence, he's gonna enter the Jed Spence penitentiary. That's reality.
Absolutely.
But I do feel like as well, obviously that back three, it allows Porro, Spence to get that a little bit further forward as well. That would be the idea here.
Yeah. So the back five is the back five. Let's move on to the midfield, and I think it's going to be a Premier League debut for João Palhinha in the heart of that Spurs midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going from central, like there, in the middle, in that middle three. He's got a massive game on his hands, but I think these are the games he's here for. These kind of games where it's not all about ball progression, it's all about beating the press. It's about duels and being competitive and breaking up Man City's play. And he was brilliant at that against PSG. And once he went off, it all changed. So I think, Palhinha will know the assignment here.
Yeah, definitely. Alongside João Palhinha, I think the first player I want to talk about is Pape Matar. I think he's definitely going to be in the side. He's been brilliant so far, followed on his brilliant pre-season with a brilliant performance against Burnley, and he has to be in the team.
Yeah, he's been fantastic so far early in the season. His energy is fantastic. I think if there's going to be a player, from that midfield joining the attack and looking to hurt Man City running behind, it's going to be him as well. So, yeah, Pape Matar has to start, I think. Can't leave him out right now.
Yeah. And that leaves one more space in the midfield. In my opinion, it's going to be Rodrigo Bentancur. There is a case to say Lucas Bergvall, but I think just add that extra steal in there, Rodrigo Bentancur, alongside Pape and João Palhinha. And that is... that's a physical midfield. Yeah,
I think it's going to have to be them three. You can't leave. I think he loves Bentancur. I don't think he's leaving him out in this game with his experience. I think he has to start. He was, again, brilliant against PSG. And I think he's got that little bit of ball composure than... I think probably on the ball a bit better than the other two as well when it comes to maybe dragging the ball forward and having that bit more awareness. So I think he's going to be needed in this game for sure.
So that moves us on to the two strikers. So Richarlison is obviously the natural striker in there. We've just spoken about how brilliant he's been in the last two games.
Yeah.
And look, he's going to be vital in terms of dropping back, linking the play together. being there to finish off the chances when we do create them. And if chances fall to him, he needs to be super clinical. Clinical.
And I think the hold-up play is going to be so vital in this game as well, because we know City are going to have most of the ball. So when he does get his chance to get on the ball and get Tottenham getting an attack, he has to hang on to it, because every time he loses it, that's just a chance of us springing an attack gone. And we're not going to have too many of those on Saturday. So his role was super important. He has to do exactly what he did against PSG, make a nuisance of himself, make sure that back line is never comfortable, and make sure when he gets the ball, he finds a teammate and he doesn't lose it easily, and he's strong and he's competitive, and he's winning his headers, winning flick-ons, doing that kind of stuff. Doesn't even have to be I mean, obviously, preferably, he's also a massive goal threat, and I think we need that too, but just those fundamentals, he needs to be on top of his game for those things for us to function.
And last but not least, to make up the predicted 11 is going to be Mohamed Kudus alongside Richarlison. And we saw how vital Kudus was in the PSG game. I mean, Nuno Mendes must have been having nightmares of Mohamed Kudus that night. And let's hope some Man City players are going to be having the same sort of nightmares.
Yeah, and I think similar to Richarlison, his role is really important. And I think the way that they linked up against PSG and made it stick was what allowed us to relieve pressure at certain points and obviously win free kicks, get set pieces, and obviously take advantage of those situations. And the big difference as well, I'm looking at like PSG's back line compared to Man City's, and I think PSG's is more physical than what Man City's going to offer. So I think Tottenham will be looking at that back line and they'll be thinking, is there a ability for our front two to get even more joy in this one than they were against PSG? I think the one thing against PSG that we need to work on in this game is, yes, they did really well, that front two, but we still didn't maybe create enough in open play when it came to counter-attacks. A lot of the times it led to free kicks being won and we took advantage of the set pieces. I think I can remember Richarlison having one chance which he forced a save out of. But we need to maybe think about creating a lot more from open play and creating more chances and exploiting the space that you're going to leave. And those two are going to have a big part to play in that. But yeah, that 3-5-2, I think I can actually envisage Kudus and Richarlison getting more joy in this one than they did against PSG.
Yeah, you could be right. I think our transitional play is going to be so important, vital. And I think in the midfield, the guy that we're going to look to really push us high up the pitch and really benefit of those transitions going to be Pape. He's going to be on it. He's going to have to be nicking that ball off the midfielder and just bombing on. And once he gets a run on you, Pape, he's very fast and very kind of agile. It's hard to catch him.
Yeah, and I think set pieces is going to be obviously the big one. Obviously, we're going to have Danso from the long throws. We're going to have. Look, we've already shown against PSG and even so far in pre-season and even against Burnley, like we've got plans. We've got plans and we're executing them from these corners and free kicks. And Man City got to be careful. And it's kind of catch-22 when you got someone like Kudus there and he's holding the ball up and he's spinning you. Do you bring him down and give us a chance to get a set piece, or do you allow him to run into the space? And having someone like Kudus forces you into that kind of decision. And that's the beauty of what someone like Kudus brings you.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, that is our predicted lineup going into the game this week